What are the concrete ways to make this surge matter? How do you lock in positive things that have happened and make sure that things just don't kind of reset when next year begins? And I know we use phrases like momentum and build on things, but how do you make sure that there's value to this quality play?
Well, the value comes from the learning and the work. The value doesn't come from, the winning is the result, and carrying that into the next year. I don't know that carries a whole lot of, carries a whole lot of weight, because there's change every year. Every season is unique within itself. I don't believe in really, year to year things going into the next year, other than just continue to get better and learn and win. When they happen, those things happen. You start to have belief in yourself. You start to trust the process of your work and the lessons you've learned throughout the season, and continue to grow. That's where it carries, and that's the value. How we're going about our daily business, no matter what our record is, no matter where we're at in the standings, we just continue to try to play consistent baseball on a daily basis, come in with the mindset of trying to win each pitch, try to do the little things right. And those are the expectations around here. It's the expectations of focus, effort, hard work, and being a good teammate. And these guys have owned all those things, especially in the second half, has started to pay out and show a little bit.
How would you assess Seiya Suzuki's first year of Major League Baseball?
Success. I actually think it's a great success. He dealt with some adversity and some injuries. He found his way, navigating a new culture, navigating a language barrier. Travel is much different from where he came from. The schedule is much different than where he came from. He's been a very consistent at bat since he's been back from the finger issue, and then obviously having that time off for the baby and traveling, over all those time zones. Really not easy on the body. I think he's learned a lot. I've talked to him recently at length, and there's a lot he's learned about how he wants to come in and be even better next year. But I would say he had a very successful season for us.
Extrapolating his WAR number over a full season, if you're talking about a 3+ win player as a rookie going through everything that he went through, it's pretty phenomenal. And that would put him close to value with Wilson Contreras, who has been the subject of a lot of attention lately for obvious reasons. What have your personal conversations with Wilson been like about how he feels now and what the future may hold?
We actually, I'm wrapping up player meetings today and tomorrow. I have not met with Wilson yet, but I can tell you what I know about Wilson and how much he cares, and wanting to get the ankle injury behind him and get ready to play back that last home series. The way he goes about his business, the experience he has here in winning and being around a lot of championship caliber baseball players and winning a World Series, he's an important piece to what we're doing around here and how he carries himself and goes about his business. So I haven't met with Wilson yet, so I don't know all his thoughts on that. I know he's just committed to finishing out the season and setting himself in a good place for his off season. And we want what's best for Wilson, and we love him around here, and we'll see what happens in the off season, but I haven't had that conversation with him yet.
When you do these meetings, what to you is the most significant thing you can learn from or about one of your players?
What they've learned and where they want to get to. Yeah, I think. I think everybody assesses their season differently, and talking through how to help them grow. But I mean, a lot of it is real feedback from veteran players of how we need to get better as a whole. What areas do you want to improve? And then a lot of it for the young guys is, okay, it's your first full season, first time going through 162. What have you learned about that? What have you, kind of your routine and processes done for you, and how are you going to improve those, and how are we going to get, this marathon of a season going into next year? You're going to start earlier than you've ever started, and you're going to finish later than you've ever finished. And hopefully we get into October baseball again and are able to play for another month. So I think just making sure that their intentions into the off season are to be here for that long haul of a championship season and continue to work towards that and keep our eye on that, as well as we're going through a lot of growth. So just listening to them and getting their feedback and giving them real input about maybe some areas that they want to improve, and we can give them feedback of there's something that they don't say that we can kind of put a cherry on top.
2.6 million fans have come through Wrigley Field this year, in a year that was a little rough. And the atmosphere there over the last couple of weeks has been electric, with the team playing well. As someone who manages there, that also played there, is there value for a player? Like I'm thinking about Wilson in this case, Rossi, just so you kind of understand where I'm going with this. Is there value in the Wrigley Field Cubs experience that might be hidden added value for someone that has an opportunity to go get a payday somewhere else? But is there something to the idea of Wrigley and being a Cub being special?
Absolutely. It's a special place. And a guy that just got a lot of love the other day, Jason Hayward, took less money to come to Wrigley and come to Chicago and be a part of that special atmosphere, the special fan base. When you're around the league, and I think it's a different appreciation for when you go play for other teams and you come to be a Cub and play at Wrigley Field. You realize the difference. When you come up here, I think there's a little bit of wow, this place is great. What else is out there? And sometimes you get to the grass isn't always greener. I think we've all experienced that in areas of our life. So it is a special place. I don't think anybody takes it for granted. I think Wilson understands what a special place this is. Anybody who's played here and been anywhere else, or guys that haven't been here and have been other places, they come in here and they can't believe how great the fan base is, how great the organization treats you, how well we're treated over here, and how many great things that this organization does. So I think for everybody, that's real. You understand passionate fan bases and special places, and this is definitely one of them.
When a season ends, what non-baseball thing do you most look forward to?
When the season ends, what non-baseball thing do I look most like? What am I happy to not have to do?
Oh, no, is there anything specific you say that you love doing, but you just cannot do this thing in season?
Oh, my kids, for sure. Like I cannot wait to get home. My son's got a championship football game in middle school, and he's the center, and like it freaking sucks to miss those games. And my daughter has 4 games left. She got a tournament on Saturday, and then she plays 2 big rivals, the big high schools in volleyball on Monday and Wednesday. My youngest has soccer games on the weekends. It's the city league stuff and practices. I went home the last off day and got to fit all those things in. I get to fit in a soccer practice. My son had a actually fall baseball game, and my daughter had a volleyball game against my old high school. So I got to run home and do. It was nice that all that was happening in one day. Shoot, man, that is the constant battle in my mind.
That's more work than managing.
It's work, yeah, but like impacting your family is a lot more than impacting baseball players.
Look, I'm as romantic as anybody for that kind of stuff. I know it sounds great, but between the driving and the scheduling and all the emotions and all that,
Rossi, you got to understand that Dan has been dragging his son around to different hockey leagues and baseball games, and he's getting ready to. It's the last year of it.
Yeah, we're about to be empty nesters. Yeah. And look, I love him dearly, but 6 a.m. hockey practices are no fun, man.
Listen. I get you. Like by the time spring training starts, I'm ready to get the heck out of town. Okay. I get it. But my window is so small. If you were, I promise you, like from the experience of playing to all the guys that are retired and home now, and my coaching staff, like. When that gets taken away from you, you miss watching your son or daughter grow and like compete and be there. My favorite thing to do is go like right before we leave. She got a bunch of volleyball tournaments and like where they travel team. It's just like to watch them compete and grow. Like, no, I get it. It's hard, but
I
there's
know it's
also,
funny
like,
you say that because I actually my son is manipulative enough that when I'm like, you slept through your alarm, get up, dumbass. We're gonna leave here in 10 minutes, and I'm leaving without you. And he goes, he goes, no, you're not, and you're gonna miss this. You're gonna miss this. Like, I'm not gonna miss this part of it, idiot.
That's right. That's right. No, I mean, like, I'm not trying to be sappy or sentimental, but that's really like what I can't, like, usually I think most managers stay in the town and talk and meet and all that. I am on the first plane home. I'll be back within a week after, things slow down, and I don't get them, and, getting up at 6 a.m. and cooking breakfast and doing my daughter's hair and, like, having her, like, drag around and forcing her to brush her teeth and, all that stuff at some point. Yeah, sure. Like, it's not ideal, but I definitely miss it when I don't get to do it on a daily basis. They're growing up so fast, and, yeah, I get to impact people and baseball players every single day. I'd like a little more opportunity to impact my kids on a regular basis.
Rossi, before we let you go, obviously this run that you guys have been on at the end of the season has been great. And like we were saying, the atmosphere at Wrigley has been outstanding. For the Cub fan that's looking for some things to hold on to as you guys, figure some stuff out in the offseason, what would you say they should be hopeful about coming into the next season?
I think, hopeful may not be the word. I think the things that I would take a big 30,000-foot view of this year is like, okay, we didn't have some of those veteran pitchers healthy early on to stabilize our rotation. We didn't have enough depth. Those things have kind of come back around. Stroh got healthy, was phenomenal. Wade Miley never really got healthy. Drew Smiley got healthy, was really good. Hayden Wesneski's done a nice job. Sampson's pitched really well. Hopefully Kyle, the hope part, maybe Kyle gets back and healthy and you start to see like a real basis. Javier Assad has done a nice job. Like there's actually some depth there. Brandon Hughes has done a nice job in the bullpen, and there's some guys that have continued to grow down there throughout this season and figured out where their success lies, from a pitching standpoint. And then like Nico stayed healthy most of the year, and Hap got much better. Seiya looks real. We've still got plenty of holes to fill. I mean, Morel came out of nowhere and put himself on the map. There's a lot of guys that are used this opportunity and took advantage of it this year. And so, like, you see the real pieces. Now it's over the next, little while and picking the right pieces to add to that, and everybody continue to focus on getting better and growing and trying to have that championship caliber play on a daily basis is where we're trying to get to. So what I would say is it's coming. There's some depth. There's some highlights. We still have a long way to go, but we're working hard to get there, and everybody is working hard. I can assure them of that.